I'll tell you, I'll read a poem until he loses his will to live. He gets malaise.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Greg Valentine, last time he was here, it was the most personality I've ever seen him. I guess this is the type of music that he likes. But he had more personality here than he did in the match. He was like, because have you ever seen him sign autographs?
No,
He just like sits there and
Yeah.
got that blank look on his face.
Yeah.
But he was singing. And he was
singing on the mic?
Yeah.
Is he any good?
No.
It's more for fun.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be any good either. I do karaoke, but I kind of suck, you know. But I just do it, and
I bet you're good.
I'm not good. I'm not good. Hey, if I were good, I would tell you. I'm the type of guy to tell you if I were.
You did write Lanny the Non-Smoking Dad, the song.
Yeah, right.
You did get him to
Well,
sing
you know,
that.
the thing is, you gotta know your audience, you know. And I'm a Mr. Rogers type of guy.
This is Kyle, the one you're gonna torture this morning.
He let us in after thinking it over. Yeah,
So are you going to be able to give us a poem on air later in this hour?
please, that's what I do.
Yeah, I
you know.
assumed, right? I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, that's what I do, you know. Without that, I'm worthless.
He's very good at poetry.
That's all I have.
Okay. Let's see. So in the beginning, I'm just going to ask you about your career and your starts and all that kind of crap, right? And just, if you don't mind. And are you comfortable talking about your brother?
I talked about him last night for several segments.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
I was the other guy on the other side of the glass last night.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
the
hard-working
right.
man.
What's that?
I was the guy on the other side of the glass last night.
Really?
Put you on the air last night on CFRA.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was awesome. It was great.
I tell you, he was good too.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of good callers.
Not that you're not.
Not to see Dylan yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dylan's cooler.
We've only had a spoonful of you. I had
I don't
a
know
couple
who
gallons of
you
that.
Yeah, I have better hair than he does.
You do, you know what? I was going to mention that.
Made it on time.
That's all that matters.
Yes. Thanks to my fantastic driver.
Yes.
What are you,
I'm the co-host and I do the news and sports every half hour.
101.9, Dog FM, Rare Earth, right there at Get Ready. The name of the tune, 8:10 is the time. My name Dylan Black, Alyssa here as always, and we have in the studio, Ottawa pro wrestler Hannibal. Good morning, Hannibal.
Hello, great to be here.
Yes, and WWE legend. You don't mind being called a legend, do you? Lanny Poffo?
He is a legend.
Yeah, you are. So you can't mind it.
Leaping Lanny.
Leaping.
I'm very tolerant.
He's very tolerant, man.
The first man to do a moonsault ever.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I invented it right after I saw a guy named Tiger Mask do it in Japan.
But it matters in WWE and...
Yeah, because I brought it to Madison Square Garden, so they think I invented it. But the truth is, I'm not an innovator. I'm a perfectionist.
So you perfected the moonsault, which is very cool. And you've slapped that bad boy on, you've applied it, you've heard people with it, many names over the years. Let's do some name dropping here. How many people have you moonsaulted?
Assaulted? No, I've, it's basically been my trademark, my signature move, you know, but I don't have a laundry list of wrestlers,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've done that to everybody but you, I think.
And he can still do it.
And I'm hoping you're not going to do it to me. But Kyle here, it's his final day, by the way, Dog FM Kyle.
Yes.
So.
Your final day?
Yeah.
You're being expelled?
Yeah.
Actually, he's sick of us coming in.
And
He's scared.
you know what they call it in England? He's been made redundant.
Yeah, he's a little. Yeah, we've had enough of him.
It wasn't in the contract that he gets beat up every month or so by
Yeah,
a
a couple
wrestler.
months ago, Hannibal came in, slapped him real hard, chopped him real hard in the chest. Then we had your opponent for Saturday night come in, Greg the Hammer Valentine, put the figure 4 leg lock on him. So we're not sure, should we moonsault him or what should we do to him today?
Let's torture him.
I'm going to read a poem to you until you lose your will to live.
That's something to look forward to right there. Okay, you were born in Canada too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I was born in Calgary. on December 28th, 1954.
Okay.
That makes me 56, I'll be 57. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, I didn't bring that up, okay? I don't want to get hurt here. So, and when did you debut with your wrestling career? When did this all begin for you?
June 6th, 1973.
Really?
But I
Have the
didn't
exact
I
date?
didn't get to the World Wrestling Federation, which was called at the time, until June 18th, 1985. And in 1993, I was made redundant, just like Kyle.
Made redundant. Yeah, you're still very active. Where has your travels taken you as of recent?
Internationally, I've been to Germany and France and England, but just lately, I was in Chicago, and I'm coming up. I'm going back to Chicago and to New York. If you go on geniuslannypoffo.com, you'll see a beautiful tribute I made for my brother, and on the news section, it'll show you where I've been and where I'm going. The reason I'm showing you where I've been is because my webmaster has a case of the slows. And I said, please, after I've been there, take them off, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it can
exactly.
stay, like to pretend to be current.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of your brother, legendary wrestler, Macho Man, Randy Savage, we'll be chatting about him coming up in just a bit. And yeah, we do want to hear a poem from you today. Of course, that's one of the things you're most famous for, the poem. You didn't wear your valedictorian outfit, your graduation outfit, though, today. I was kind of hoping for that.
You were, yeah, right.
It's in the car, right? All right, the Genius is here, WWE legend, and Hannibal as well. More with those guys coming up in just a bit, but first, let's check the roads with Kyle Robinson. Do you feel a bit intimidated there, Kyle?
Right in the middle between two very large people.
Staring down. Wow. All right, you got your forecast to look forward to in moments, the Rolling Stones, and more.
Yeah, I think a big forearm to the chest would be nice.
Oh,
This is
again?
last day.
Yeah, somebody's gonna.
A forearm, not a jaw.
Okay.
Something like that, right? That's awesome. So where are you staying right now? You're just at a hotel around here? Cartier Suites. That's downtown, right? I think.
Yeah.
Downtown Ottawa. Do you know Ottawa well? I mean,
Not
you
too well,
were
no.
born in Calgary, right? But did you
Yeah.
did you stay in Canada or did you?
No, I'm a Canadian-born American citizen, and, you know, and I only started frequenting Canada to the Maritimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's the thing about that career, right? You must have seen so many places and.
Yeah, that was the fun part, because I'm definitely too thrifty to go on vacation on my own, you know, but I count that as like, wow, look at all the places I've been, didn't cost me a dime.
Yeah.
This bad news was sometimes you had to be with people like, you know, Brian Knobs, who would always distinguish himself, you know, like, oh, brother. He says, hey, what's the matter, Papa? You don't want to go out with me? You're too good for me? I said, definitely too good for you, yes. Because, you know, I would like to, like, when I go to a place, I like to be incognito or something, or try to act like a citizen.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, food fight every time, you know, so I said, can't be the, you know. Or he'd say rude things to the waitress. I can't live like that, no. Like, show me your, you know.
Oh God.
You know, I can't, I said, oh.
Yeah.
I'll wait in the car.
That's fun.
I mean, really, I'm telling you, not fun, you know, like.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah, I can't do that. Because, you know, in the large picture, the waitress is just as good as you are, and even better.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I agree.
Hey, did you want to
You
cupcake?
recently toured Atlantic Canada.
Oh, no,
right? Didn't you go on a tour of Atlantic Canada?
Yeah, and yeah, I've been there quite a bit.
Yeah.
How did you know this?
Well, I used to live out east. So, yeah.
Where'd you live?
Moncton.
Yeah, I've in 1978 and in '83 I wrestled locally for Emile Dupre.
Oh, okay.
And then we, as a matter of fact, I love the whole thing. You speak French then, right?
No.
But Moncton is bilingual.
Yeah, I'm originally from Ottawa. Moved
Ah,
to
okay.
Moncton, now I'm back. Actually,
Yeah.
both Ottawa and Moncton are
You know
bilingual.
where Shediac is?
I
Yeah.
just need to give the weather here.
I was married in, oh sorry, go into the weather. I was married in Moncton.
All right, to be high today, 27 degrees, sunshine, 30, and not sunshine tomorrow, rain, 16 currently. We've got WWE legend Lanny Poffo, the Genius, was with us, and Hannibal as well. And we got the Rolling Stones on the radio, right here on Dog FM.
So you were married in Shediac?
In Moncton,
In Moncton, okay.
yeah. And that was 1983. It lasted 12 years.
Okay. And you have a
Daughter,
Daughter.
27.
Okay.
It was doomed before we even took the vows. So.
Is she from out east?
No,
Oh,
she's
okay.
from Kentucky.
Okay.
I thought I was a great lover and found out she had asthma. It was humiliating. Oh, are we on the air? I'm sorry.
That's so
Why did you get married in Moncton?
You should have just ended it. Why did you get married?
Yeah.
Just cut it off in Moncton. I just happened to be there at the time, and
Where did you have the reception?
we were. It was like a civil service,
Yeah.
as romantic as getting your driver's license renewed.
So what do you do after this today?
I vegetate until we go to Montreal.
Yeah.
We have to wrestle in Montreal.
You're wrestling tonight in Montreal.
Yeah, both of us.
Dog FM, Rolling Stones, Gimme Shelter, 8:22, the time on a Friday morning. The long weekend is here, and we're celebrating with a couple of pro wrestlers in the studio. Hannibal from Ottawa, from Calgary. I guess we could say you're from Calgary. Well, you didn't hang around there too long,
No, but I've been back several times.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Bit of a stampede.
Yes, the Stampede. Lanny Poffo, WWE legend, is with us today. The Genius. What would you rather go by? Leaving Lanny? Lanny Poffo, the Genius? Which is your handle that you like the
What's
best?
your preference?
I have selective amnesia.
Okay.
I like to only prefer the Genius and that one brief moment of where I drank from the silver chalice of success. You may call me Genius.
Okay.
I love it.
There you go.
Actually, truth be known, I'm slightly above average, but
Okay.
I'm not a genius.
Also, you have the big show tomorrow night in Hawkesbury, Ontario. Now, we must say that this is the only tribute show, memorial show, I guess you could say, to your brother who passed away. It's been 2 months now that this
It's
has
been 3 months and 12
months.
days. It was May 20th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So take us through that a bit. Of course, we're talking about Randy Macho Man Savage, a gigantic legend in the world of wrestling. What was it like to get that news?
Well, I was on my way to California, and I stopped in Dallas on American Airlines, and I turned on my cell phone, and there was a message from Largo Medical, and that Randy and Lynn had been in an accident, and Randy was in critical condition. So I called the number they left for me. I was on hold what seemed like forever. And then I got Lynn on the phone, his wife, and she says, "You don't know?" And I said, "I just landed in Dallas. I don't know anything." And she told me the whole story, and I just, oh man. So I called Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South, and I told him about it. I said, "Please tell the promoter I'm going back home now."
Yeah.
And then I waited in line to change my tickets, and they weren't going to let me do it because the flight was sold out. So I begged her. I lost my dignity, and I got emotional. I begged her, and then she talked to her supervisor, and they found a seat for me. And then I called my mom, and I was really not looking forward to calling her, but I didn't want to call her until I had some good news that I was going to be home. And she was just a basket case. It was just horrible. And then a few days later, he died on Friday morning, and then on Monday we were going to have the viewing and the cremation. And he had left explicit plans of what he wanted and what he didn't want. So I went to my mom's house and I saw Channel 10's news outside of her door, and I got furious. I mean, an 84-year-old woman on the day of her firstborn son's funeral. So I walked in there and said, "Oh, Lanny, we're so sorry." I said, "Stop it, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. How do you live with yourself? She's 84 years old. He said, "Well, we didn't, she invited us in." I said, "You're taking advantage. Now you get out." And I didn't touch anybody.
Yeah.
But I have a friend, a very, very good friend in radio. He's got one of the biggest drive time radio shows, and not one of the biggest. I called him up. He got furious. He said, "Do you want to be on my show?" I said, "No." So I wrote a letter, and like a letter from me to send him an email, and he read it on the air. What backlash they got, for taking advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got where is the decency? And it was one thing to see my brother's body, and he was a large part of all of our lives. But it was another thing to have to witness my mother view the body. That's because I have a very healthy attitude toward living and dying. You know, especially my own death. I'm ready any time. But he, my mother does not deserve to have a microphone in her face and people there that are predatory news gatherers. And I was very angry. I didn't touch anybody, but I did something worse. I ruined their reputation.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. You have to commend that for sure. We appreciate you definitely giving us some insight in this, and I guess stories that people don't know. So thanks for.
Yeah, he died of ventricular fibrillation, and I didn't know a word about that, you know, but now I'm kind of an expert. Your heart is divided into 4 parts, the atria and the ventricles, left and right, and fibrillation means to quiver. So basically he died of low blood pressure, you know, and he said, well, I'm not feeling very good, I think I'm going to pass out. And then he did. Too bad he was driving at the time, but his wife grabbed the wheel. He had gone over the median into oncoming traffic, and she grabbed the wheel and steered it into a tree very safely, but she needed to stop the car because his foot was still on the accelerator. So she saved the life of a motorcyclist, and they almost hit a bus as well.
Wow.
So she was definitely the hero. But he was, he did not die from the vehicle.
No.
No, he never regained consciousness. As a matter of fact, it's the most beautiful, painless death you can hope for.
Okay. All right. Well, WWE legend Lanny Poffo, the genius, with us today. Hannibal as well, pro wrestler, and more with them coming up in just a bit. We'll check the news as well. You're going to be reading one of your poems for us on the air.
I'm excited.
We're looking forward to that. And you may have heard Kyle, so we're going to see what happens. All right, 8:28. Alyssa's got your news coming up in moments. It is 19 degrees right now, 8:32 on a Friday morning. The genius, Lanny Poffo, with us. And, you know, coming up in moments, have you heard what Greg the Hammer Valentine has been saying about you? Have you heard?
No.
Okay, we're going to play this for you. Not right now, just give it a second. We're going to give him a second to think about what he may want to say back to Greg Valentine. Okay?
Okay.
That's coming up as we gear up for the Macho Man Memorial Tribute Show in Hawkesbury, Ontario tomorrow night.
Get action shocked. Oh, just ignore me. Oh, this is awesome.
I love it.
That's very cool. We'll take some more pictures after.
Probably not as much as I did. Sorry if my hygiene wasn't a little disappointing.
Yeah, I have coffee breath.
I'm a little scruffy. I didn't want to be late, but you could either look good or be late, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I said, no,
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be making bad impressions.
So we've been putting a video of you and Hogan up on YouTube and stuff, and like looking back on something like that. I mean, is it cool to look back on those old clips? We've only got 30 seconds here.
Yeah, I'd say I live in the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how can you tell an older man in the dark?
How?
It's not hard.
Dylan Black, my name Alyssa Delapone here as always, and the genius, a WWE legend, Lanny Poffo, in the studio. You're gearing up for a big match tomorrow night, Hawkesbury, Ontario. You guys are fighting though tonight in Montreal? Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, whereabouts in Montreal?
Well, where's Devin? He's the one that knows.
Here's all the info.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere in Montreal.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, if
You get in the car, you show up somewhere, you put the boots on, you hope for the best.
right. Without a GPS, I couldn't find my buttocks with 2 hands.
Okay. Well, you've been in Hawkesbury, Ontario before, though.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
I've been to every Middlesex village and farm.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
Okay. It's good and bad, I guess, right?
and ugly.
Okay, and ugly. Yeah, the big memorial tribute show is going to be happening in Hawkesbury, and when Greg the Hammer Valentine was here, we broke the news right there that you'd be taking him on at that match. Okay, so I found a clip of him basically running his mouth about you, and I think it's time we had to listen to what Greg the Hammer Valentine has to say about you in the match.
I want to tell you something, Lanny, that I have a lot of respect for your brother, and I also have a lot of respect for you. But I signed on the dotted line, and when I get into the squared circle, I'm not thinking about anything else but Greg the Hammer Valentine being victorious. I'll slap the 3-4 leg lock on you like you're a stepchild. Randy's in the sky, but you're going to be right there in the squared circle with Greg the Hammer Valentine, and you're going to feel the power of the hammer.
Uh-oh.
So what do you have to say about that? Kind words? Also, he sounds like he's out to get you, man.
Right. I almost fell asleep during the middle of it. Okay, here's the situation. If I can reiterate what he said, he has respect for my brother, which is phenomenal. Yeah, you know, we all do. He also said he had respect for me. Evidently, he has no respect for himself. Otherwise, why would he wear a watch that costs more than a car, and a car that costs more than a house, and he's probably going to get foreclosed? You see what I mean? Success is not in one day. Success is daily. When you're looking at me, you're looking at a fellow that tried to save at least 10% of everything he ever earned, and now that I'm 56, I am in much better condition physically, financially, emotionally, psychologically than Greg the Hammer Valentine. So if you get him in the ring, I'd rather have his envy than his pity. And I think I've got a lot of both.
Well,
Are you going to do your finishing move, the honor roll on him?
The honor roll?
Yes, are you?
I'm amazed at your acumen. Thank you for... right. Yes, I'm going to do the finishing move on him. And, you know, I'm going to, from start to finish, I'm going to be countering all his plans for me. And I have plans for my own. But the main thing is, we're going to remember my brother, because he's the reason that, as a matter of fact, you want to hear a little poem?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Of course.
If you go on my website, geniuslannypoffo.com, it starts out with a nice beginning where I'm standing in front of the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. And I said, I stand before Niagara Falls and think about my brother who seized the Carpe Diem day with passion like no other. His name was Lanny Poffo. He became the Macho Man. Randy Savage made it cool to be a wrestling fan. He set a good example before he said goodbye, and I intend to honor him until these falls go dry.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And you're going to honor him, and everybody's going to honor him tomorrow night in Hawkesbury. Looking forward to that. Somebody we're not going to honor is Kyle Robinson.
Nope.
I do believe it's time for you to maybe injure him in one way or another. It's his final day, and every time we have a pro wrestler come in, we injure Kyle.
Okay.
So we're going to figure out what we're going to do to Kyle in about 3 minutes' time, okay? WWE legend, the genius, Lanny Poffo with us. Colin James is here. No more dog and Dog FM.
I think Devin's locked out.
I bet you Hannibal's probably...
Were you locked out?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
You know, about a month ago, I was thrown out of the woman's john.
Out of the women's?
Yeah.
What are you doing in there?
I thought it said Lanny's.
Nice. Okay, so in about a minute and a half, we are going to injure Kyle. But I just wonder what you should do to him.
Yeah, do you have another move you could do on him?
Oh, nothing, people.
What would be a move that fans would be very recognizable for you that we can do to him right now? It's going to be more smoke and mirrors, right? But
Yeah.
just to say that we're doing it, and then and
You could read a poem to me. That's...
I could read a poem and he'd die of boredom.
we could do that. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's up to you, right? We just need to figure this out in 45 seconds.
Doesn't matter.
Put it in some kind of submission. Boston crab.
Oh, the Boston. Oh, I know what that is.
Boston crab. Is that?
You don't want me actually, I can't do that, come on.
Fine.
I'll tell you what, why don't you give him one of those blistering chops?
Again.
By the way, if I go into cardiac arrest, please chop me. Because I just like
What were
probably...
you talking about? The forearm?
The forearms.
Do you want a
forearm
forearm?
slashes. I
Do
can
it.
do it.
Okay,
Sell it though,
We
right?
got 20 seconds to figure this out.
I put him in the double arm scissors, but it goes like this.
Oh, you're hilarious.
No,
Okay, we're doing something. So please,
We'll
let's
give him a forearm smash.
forearm
Yeah.
smash.
Do it.
And Lanny will read him a poem while he's...
While he's in
Who's
pain.
forearm smashing him then?
I'll do it since Lanny...
Okay.
Just have to leading into it, maybe.
Okay. 101.9 Dog FM. Colin James right there. No more dog and 8:46, 14 in front of 9 o'clock on a Friday morning. Dylan Black, Alyssa Delapalme, Hannibal.
Hannibal! Get ready for his match on Saturday against Nathan Banner.
I was expecting you to
Well, it's a very important event, and we don't want to overshadow like what the event is really
Well, of
about.
course,
It's
without
about
doubt.
Macho Man.
And that's awesome, but we want to pack that arena for sure, the Bob Hartley Arena in Hawkesbury.
12 matches, and there's going to be a battle royal 20-man to crown the first ever Great North Wrestling champion. And Lanny's actually going to be in that battle royal as well.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, Lanny, you're referring to Lanny Poffo, WWE legend, the genius, here with us. Such an honor to have you in here with us. So cool. And in the corner, cowering is Kyle Robinson.
Poor Kyle.
Now, when Hannibal was here 3 months ago, we chopped him. You know, we have a video of that up at the Don's Breakfast Facebook fan page. Then we had Greg the Hammer Valentine here, figure 4 leg lock. What are we going to do to this guy today?
Well, I really think Lanny should put him in the Boston Crab.
Okay.
Okay, we need to do something fast and in a hurry.
Let's see it. Let's make him suffer a little
Boston
bit.
Crab.
again?
It's his last
Boston
day.
Crab. It's his final day.
Let's send him off.
Let's put him in the Boston Crab, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Now we're taping this as well, which is real cool. We're taking pictures. And here comes Lanny Poffo, the genius.
No,
Is he gonna resist me?
You gotta get this.
Sit down.
You can't
Okay.
resist him.
Okay, and Kyle is getting on the ground here.
He's on the ground.
We've got,
Lanny's flip-flops are off.
Wow. Okay, he's going.
Here we go.
He's turning him
Here he
over.
is.
my!
That's hilarious. I love the girlish screams.
He's not being
Under a spreading chestnut tree, the smithy stands.
Look at that. He does the Boston Crab and can still recite poetry right after.
Okay, that was a quick one too
Incredible.
because I don't think. Look, Kyle, are you all right?
I'm good.
Okay,
He
he's
can't
good.
walk.
Oh, wow.
That's
His
awesome.
back is twisted.
How long have you had a week back? Oh, about a week back.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll wrap things up with.
That'll give us some nice memories.
My favorite part was when he just dropped his legs at the end. You could hear the thump. Threw him to the ground.
Fight back one of these times, eh, Kyle?
Yeah, come on, Kyle.
He just stiffens up. That's his defense.
Play dead, right? Yeah, good idea. All right, we'll wrap things up with Hannibal and Lanny Poffo in a moment or two. The Stray Cats are on the way, and Kyle will check the traffic after this.
What I didn't do is sit down.
Yeah.
Because if you sit down, I mean, that's it.
Bring it back.
Finished.
Yeah, I mean, it's like no more fun.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love when you scream. You're like, wow!
You get the
Man.
traffic here?
Yeah.
So funny.
But I was going to do like park the car, you know, with Boston, real Boston.
This is Carly D, by the way. She's our midday announcer.
Pleasure. Hi. Midday?
Yeah.
So we just missed by a few hours.
No, well,
she's
yeah,
coming up.
I'm coming in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a wrestling fan too.
Really?
Big
Yeah.
supporter.
Huh? Are you disappointed to meet me in person then? 'Cause
No, no, not at all.
You thought I'd be bigger or something?
No, it's exciting. It's cool. Wow, he's so tough. It's unbelievable.
Please not in the face, I've done a lot of work.
I can tell you exfoliated this morning.
Yes.
And that's traffic.
The things we women do.
Yeah. I'm glad it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Sing. You know it?
I do, yeah.
Do it.
Oh, it's easy.
Oh, they're on the air?
No.
It's the last traffic before.
The final one, that's handsome.
Darn time, 8:50. We've got WWE legend leaping Lanny Poffo, the genius, here with us in the studio. We're going to wrap things up with him and Hannibal as well in a moment or two. And, just put the Boston Crab on Kyle. I don't know what he's doing to Kyle at this moment. Yes, man.
Sorry.
By the way, this is Kyle's final traffic report on Dog FM.
Yeah, it's still only you'll get 20 times the Shoppers Optimum points when you spend $50 or more on almost anything at Shoppers Drug Mart. Restrictions apply. Details in store. I'm Kyle Robinson with Skywards Traffic.
Your swan song.
What? Scary times. Dylan Black, my name, Alyssa Della Palm as well. Kyle Robinson is still kind of injured in the corner. That's okay. 8:54 on a Friday morning, and we've got Hannibal as well. Ottawa pro wrestler and the WWE legend, Lanny Poffo, the genius. So good to have you guys here as you're gearing up for a big show in Hawkesbury, Ontario tomorrow night. Now, Hannibal, give us some of the details on the show. Who's going to be there? What's it all about?
Lanny Poffo is going to be there. Greg the Hammer Valentine, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal from TNA. all the big independent wrestling stars from around the area and from the States. There's going to be some too. 12 matches in total, a big 20-man battle royal for the Great North Wrestling Championship. Tickets are only between $10 and $20. You can't get a better deal than that. And it's going to be a great night of entertainment, a very historical night. And it's going to be about celebrating Macho Man, Randy Savage. There's going to be a music video, there's going to be a ceremony dedicated to Macho Man, and it's going to be a great night. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm honored that Lanny let us present this event, because I'm a huge Macho Man fan. I think he's the greatest wrestler of all time, and it's going to be a great night to celebrate his life.
Great, that's awesome. And of course, you're going to be taking on the Hammer, Greg Valentine.
That's right. And the hammer, I'm going to turn it into a spoon or some other utensil. But anyway,
I love it.
Jay Lethal is made a career out of imitating the Macho Man. And he does a fantastic Macho Man imitation. And I wrestled him 3 years ago in New Jersey. And he said, does Randy really like it? He says, because they got him on the phone and, you know, he sent a message that he loved. I said, Randy loves you, and he thinks imitation's the sincerest form of flattery, and he says, go for it. And he felt so validated by that.
Yeah, of course.
And but I'll tell you what, I mean, if you've never seen wrestling before, come to this one, because it's going to be really important and poignant, and it's going to be done, the whole thing's going to be in very good taste, and I think no matter what your entertainment thirst lies, I think you're going to have some fun.
All right, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you.
Wow,
That
Hannibal
was fun.
and Lanny Poffo, yay! That was awesome.
Hannibal, you mean? You got to say it
Well,
properly.
I knew you were going to do something like that. It was only a matter of time. What a great way to kick
Well, I'm
off
getting
a long
into
weekend.
destruction mode here. You only got 1 day left.
Oh, God. It's going to be a heck of a match in Hawkesbury. All right, we appreciate your time, guys. Enjoy Ottawa today. You've been around to Ottawa very often, walking around, seeing the sights, Lanny?
Picketing.
Picketing.
Protesting the government, you know.
Always something to protest about.
Yeah.
All right, more tunes on the way, and goodbye to Kyle coming up as well, and David Wilcox is on Dawn.
And then he's going to pants Kyle.